Well, San Francisco's recall of Chesa Boudin is spotlighting a theme up and down the ballot, which is law and order.
And we could see voters send a message through a number of big races tonight. Political reporter Greg Lee with us now. And Chesa Boudin always said that this recall was an attack right out of the Republican playbook. But Democrats were pointing the finger at him in San Francisco. So the debate here, Greg, is there something brewing within the Democratic Party here in California, maybe beyond, or is this, you think, just an isolated incident?
Well, so what I think this tells us, and you heard Amber say it, is that voters in San Francisco were frustrated with crime in the city. And I think we would be wise to be cautious about inferring too much on a grand scale. And you hear Chesa Boudin talking about Republicans, and I think certainly the recall effort was funded in part by some Republicans. Yeah. But let's be square, the percentages are 93-7 Democrats in San Francisco. So certainly a lot of frustrated Democrats. We have seen the phrase law and order in races up and down the state, and at the root of it, candidates recognizing California voters' concerns with issues of crime and homelessness. Perhaps the most contentious statewide race, the vote for state attorney general. And as expected, progressive Democrat Rob Bonta, the top vote getter so far, 58% of the vote. The question is, who would come in a second across a wide spectrum of stances? So far, Republican Nathan Hochman, 17%. He's campaigned sort of on that middle ground between tough on crime and reform. Close behind at 15% is Eric Early, who is certainly more conservative. He's at 15%. And in fourth is the Green Party candidate. Notice you do not see DA Anne Marie Schubert from Sacramento. She ran as an independent, had a lot of name recognition, and yet failed to gain any traction there. Here's what the two major state parties said about the issue of crime today.
When you're running for governor or you're running for dog catcher, I think it's going to be incredibly difficult for you to run with that D behind your name. It is very clear what Democrats' one-party rule has done to our state, both at the statewide level and the local level. California voters are sick and tired of these soft on crime policies. They want to bring their streets back to a safe place where not only they can live and thrive, but they can build their families and grow their communities.
California has continued to lead the way when it comes to law and order and protecting all Californians, whether they're Republicans, Democrats, or independents. And you mentioned, our Attorney General. He is leading the way, ensuring that we are protecting a person's right to an abortion or pushing back on senseless gun violence that we're seeing rampant across the nation. And so, I think our statewide lineup is ensuring that we're keeping Californians safe.
Political analysts say tonight's results could cement what we see from campaign messaging moving forward into November. Bonta's opponents had tried to tie him to progressive prosecutors like Chesa Boudin. Bonta's large lead over the pack right now, perhaps further emphasizing the point that San Francisco's results are not indicative of much more than frustrations specific to the city and Boudin. We will wait and see as more votes are counted who will face Bonta in November.
Yeah, not only that race in San Francisco, but the mayor's race down in Los Angeles is a national story as well. We'll touch on that in a little bit later in the newscast. But all right, Greg Lee, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Greg. And while many places around the Bay Area are seeing an uptick in crime, few counties are voting on new district attorneys. That includes Contra Costa County. Dinah Becton is running for re-election there, while Mary Knox is hoping to replace her. Becton currently has 58% of the vote, while Knox has 42%. Becton has served as DA in Contra Costa County since 2018. Knox is a deputy district attorney for the county. And Alameda County is also voting on a new district attorney after three-term DA Nancy O'Malley announced she is retiring. Here's a look at who could replace her. The current numbers show civil rights attorney Pamela Price has 40% of the vote. Chief Assistant District Attorney Terry Wiley has 31%. Deputy District Attorney Jimmy Wilson has 20%, and Seth Stewart right now coming in at 9%.
Now to the city of San Jose, where city residents are voting for a new mayor. Current mayor Sam Liccardo is being termed out, and two candidates appear poised to move on to that general election, and that is Santa Clara County Supervisor there, Cindy Chavez, with 40% of the vote so far, and Councilmember Matt Mahan with 32% of the vote. Mahan actually a relative newcomer to the political scene there in San Jose.